Hey, I told you, we're all here happy that Team Liquid's here. But I think we're all just happy that we have a grand finals here for Rocket League in the European region. Cole and Stumpy are going to bring it to you. The grand finals have arrived with teams locked in for Rotterdam. Team Liquid now fights for seed and maybe even a statement if they can shut down Casey's rival.
An incredible third grand final in a row for Karmine Corp, and haven't they made it look pretty simple along the way? But Stumpy, you're with me today, and Team Liquid, they are peaking at pretty much the perfect time.
They are making sure that they're giving us an incredible ending to this fantastic final regional where they haven't managed to squeak past the quarterfinals previously. In fact, they've only made it there once, and that was in the first regional we saw them in. And now, grand finals. They've not had an easy road here, but they are going to want to improve and continue to push as hard as they can, because a win versus KC would be a real statement.
It would be a real statement, especially considering Karmine Corp have got every chance of being the most dominant team from EU or North America going into the Rotterdam Major. Everybody was talking about Gen G, but Karmine Corp's achievements so far are overshadowing even them.
Well, it depends. It depends, because so far we've seen Gen G get second, first. Right now, we've seen 1 second and 1 first for KC. The worst, KC draw with them. That's what we're looking at. And if they can manage to get the win, yes, they are going to be the most dominant team that we've seen coming from either of those regions. So they've still got a lot on the line, as well as the money. But that seeding, it was mentioned on that lovely little desk we had a minute ago, that the seeding is so important going into this major, because they are right now split, Liquid, between second and fourth. If they win this, they go second in Europe, and they therefore go through to the major, facing off versus Team Secret in that first round. If they come fourth, however, by losing this grand final, they will be against version 1. A slightly different, power strength. We're seeing them out right now, V1, but still a horrible team to play against as our Secret. A little bit rock and a hard place, sure, but there's still, that amount to play for, because that'll affect your seeding going through into the other rounds in the beautiful Rotterdam Swiss.
V1, who you say they've stopped a little bit, but they did win one of the majors. Sorry, one of the regionals, not one of the majors.
Crumbs.
Missed
that one.
Yeah, we all forgot that. You guys forgot V1 of the major. Anyway, yeah, lots of good teams going to Rotterdam. It's going to be exciting to see, but this game is going to be exciting first in this series, especially with passes like that. Karmine Corp, the first minute and 40 seconds, they were just chilling. Suddenly one pass, it's that simple.
Vatira in the sky is going to be immediately terrifying. And a Chronic, because he commits so early to it, which was the right decision, Oski was back, it just means that he's able to send it towards the right. Itachi can then shoot, going perfectly top corner as well with it. And that's Vatira again assisting. He is right now #1 in assists throughout this entire tournament, and the only player to have over 1 assist per game, and he's at 1.2. He's been an incredible playmaker for Karmine.
Team Liquid, whether or not they win this grand finals, Vatira goes over the top, might score a beautiful double. Enough about Team Liquid. Let's talk more about KC.
Squoze it in as gently as he like. Again, just taking it to the air over a Chronic again. And then with that backside of his car, can tap it in right below the crossbar. Those angles are ones that you think, is that too acute? Is that impossible? Not for a man like him.
What I was going to say was whether or not Team Liquid win or lose this grand finals, they are really starting to fulfill their promise from last season. They came together, as Oski might put this one away, to make it 2-1 in spring last season. From there, they made their first major at the first opportunity, couldn't make Worlds. This season, they're doing even better.
Oski receiving that pass well from a Chronic. It was nobody up on the side of KC, not realizing that pass came in potentially, and now only breaking that down to a single goal difference between them. A lot of rapid goals in the last 30 seconds or so. So looking for KC to either continue their lead or for Oski to carry it over the top. Atto nearly getting on the end of Oski's air dribble. Chronic to shoot, but Exotic intercepting nicely. With third boost in the left wing to his disposal. He misses the mid boost, and Oski with that back 100 gets 50 alongside. And with 0 boost versus 100, the man with 0 comes out on top.
Atto tried to dive in, but Oski, he was just a little bit awkward. He was backwards, and his backflip just fell right into the path of Itachi, who read it perfectly. A good start from Karmine Corp continues. They are having no grand finals jitters this time around. They're on for the double. 2 regional victories in a row to take to the major. It would be huge for them and their 15 billion now fans.
The blue wall just continues to add bricks. And it's so nice to see, especially, we're going to be seeing a European major. We're going to be seeing a lot of these KC fans. They've gained a lot since being at World, since being in London as well. The next goal coming in the form of Itachi, dimming it across his tongue.
Look at that, the double tap from Exotic. That was nice enough. But then to have the speed, the presence of mind to pick out Itachi, Karmine Corp aren't overdoing these passes, but everyone they make has so much precision. There's already a player there in front of them. The balance is flawless from them at the moment.
And it's the hat trick for Itachi as well, with 1 assist on the side of Vatira and Exotic with 2 himself. It has been Itachi on the end of as many as they are able to send at him. Just bombarding that back orange net as Chronic now has to try and get this ball out from the back left corner. Exotic touching down, but with the demo coming in, Oski saves away from that goal as Itachi's removed to his back corner, but picks it up on the blue backboard.
That was a chance, you know, from their own half. Team Liquid, I think if they'd have rolled that one on target, the player respawning wouldn't have got there on time, but it wasn't quite accurate enough. And Vatira can clear long. Team Liquid just starting to begin a little bit of a comeback. They've stemmed the flow, at least for now, of Karmine Corp, but as I say that, they're having to do more defending until it's near post. Vatira into the center, and for once, the pass, I mean, it didn't make its way to Itachi because Team Liquid are so deep, but I don't think that was its intended recipient.
Vatira a couple of times has very much been the intended recipient because he's trying to drop it down central after receiving 1 pass himself. He wants to be the conduit between greatness on that KC side.
A couple of backflips there from Exotic in a row, and it allows Oski in. Team Liquid just seem to have stepped up just a little bit in the past 40 seconds or so. Can they make it work? The pass is there. Oski's miss goes as far as Atto. It's worked out well for them, but it's just a little bit loose. And I think that's the difference between these two teams right now. KC, every touch they make is really bad. Really bad.
No. Carry on.
Every touch they make is exactly where they want it to be. No misplaced passes from the Karmine Corp boys.
That is lovely positioning, in fairness, from Atto. The fact that he's just waiting midfield and sees that Vatira is going to be low on boost as well. He wants to flip. You can't cancel that. It goes central, and Atto is there to make sure that he is in a shooting position as well. Again, getting a touch in the midfield with Itachi sending it high. It falls back down to a Chronic, but Atto now in that back line. Not able to get back in time with 0 boost. Oski has to do something. Exotic misses a rare chance. Did not expect that to come directly down. Now Atto on the prowl for a demo.
Yeah, Team Liquid had a chance to counter-attack, but it didn't quite happen. Exotic over the top, so Oski has to come back. Now there was a decent clearance to the side. Karmine Corp continuing their game plan of trying to find these passes into the center. Perhaps Team Liquid are wising up to it, but they have to get back now, and they do not really have enough boost to deal with an attack like this one. Now they've got the ball, but they need to get it down to the KC half. It's impossible for them at the moment, Stumpy, and it does seem that despite a late flourish from Team Liquid, Karmine Corp will take game 1.
The game somewhat representing what we saw from them throughout this split as well. The fact that they started off with a couple of losses in those goals and then finally scoring a few a little bit too late, and Oski missing out on that wonder goal himself. If that went in, then maybe we're going to be looking at the late flourish in this game. I'm trying to make these echo between each other, and somehow that ball staying up until Vatira slams it down, pops the ball in his own back garden. KC, game number 1 going their way.
Passes. See Itachi in the center, get in the ball, and good things will happen. But despite scoring 2 goals fewer than Itachi, Vatira the top scorer there for Karmine.